guys, Sammy Slater and welcome back to another video. Today's video we are going to be talking about the Victorian age, so stay tuned. I've got a few facts which are a bit weird but also quite good. So first of all, I'm in the music room now, as you can see. This is all music room. This is my new guitar. And then I'm going to be sat here, and then if you look over here, got all the albums I've ever done. New Generation, Samland, Adjusted, Sammy Slater, Reborn, and Sammy Slater again. So they are all the albums I've written. There's one more but I can't find a cover to it, so you'll have to wait for that. Anyway, I'll get into the video and I'll see you soon. What's up guys, I am Sammy Slater. I'm back with a video. As I just shown you, I'm in a new room. I've got an area now where I can film. I'm in my music room. I'm showing you all the albums I've written. If you want any of them, by the way, just message me and I can send you one, so it's all good. So like I said, today we are talking about Victorian England. So the Victorian age is named after Queen Victoria. She came onto the throne in 1837 and she was 18 when she went to the throne, and she died in 1901. So in the Victorian times there used to be something called the workhouses, and the way they worked was if you was poor or you didn't have anywhere to live, you would go to the workhouses. A lot of children went to the workhouses and you would do a job for money, and obviously with the workhouses you obviously got a place to sleep, you got to work, you got to earn money through that work, you got free medical care, you got food, you got clothes, and you also, for the children, you got free education. So back then it wasn't really the best place to sort of go, but you could live from it, if you know what I mean. It wasn't a very nice place to be, but it was somewhere keep you warm and dry, basically. The houses weren't great. You had toilets that were outside. The sewers, the toilets in the Victorian age actually were like, you'd go into a shed and it'd be like a toilet, but all the toilets in the street would be along like this one pipe, and the sewage would go from the first toilet to the last toilet and then out. So if you think of a street like where you live now, the house I live in, it actually has got an outside toilet now, but obviously it's not plumbed in, it's not been used. So in this house, this is a Victorian house, so in this house they used to go outside for the toilet, and it's in the shed. So that's the house that I live in, so this is Victorian. Also in Victorian, during that time, there were no clocks, there were no alarms, so you could actually pay for somebody to come into your, well, knock on your door to wake you up at a certain time. So these people would be asleep all day, up all night, and they'd just be knocking on doors, waking people up. And you used to have to pay for that, which was quite a lot of money back then. Obviously not to today's money, but it was quite bad back then. In the houses, you obviously slept on the floor, no electric, no heating. You just slept on the floor. There was no really beds. It would have been probably a straw mattress, maybe a blanket, maybe, I don't know, some sort of pillow type thing, but nothing like we've got today bed-wise, nothing like that. The houses were a bit, well, the streets were totally bad through rubbish. If you have watched like Downton Abbey or something like that, then you will know that you had the rich people that lived in the mansions, and then you had the people underground, the servants and everything like that. Downton Abbey do it. At the bottom you would have the servants, they would make the food there, and then there'd be like places for the work people to live. In the house they get like servants' quarters, and then they get like their own little area where they could sit and eat and have something to eat. But then there was the professional areas, like the dinner stuff and all the maids going up and everything. So there was a massive difference between the rich houses and the poor houses. Massive. So people from the poor houses used to go into service, go to the rich people's houses and then be like, yeah, I got a house now. And it was an amazing job. You were looked after really well. Well, most of the time, I suppose. I suppose there would have been a few but most of the time it would have been alright, so that's all good. Right, so this is where it gets a bit spooky. Death in the Victorian era was at a height. I mean, in some cases they used to get coffins because they would think, I've put a picture on this, they used to think that people would actually turn into zombies during the Victorian age, come back alive and then start attacking the living. So I will put I'll put a picture on now. As you can see, there's a coffin and then there's a cage over the top, and that was so nobody would be able to come out of the coffin and then kill everybody. So zombies were around in the Victorian age as well. That's weird. So anyway, obviously when they were buried, you get grave diggers, obviously. They would nick your jewellery, they would nick the bodies for surgery, so they'd take the body out, take it and cut it all up and then put it back together and then get rid of it, I suppose. They go in there, they nick all the jewellery, they would nick the coffin and then resell it, and it was just awful. I mean, could you imagine going into a graveyard and someone's been in the graves and there's like body parts everywhere? Oh, that's horrible. So yeah, the zombie thing, they went underground more and more and more. It wasn't just 6 foot, it was like 12 just to make sure it wouldn't be zombies. So the last fact I'll give you for the Victorian times is quite hilarious but scary. I don't know if you've seen it. If you look online in the Victorian age, they used to embalm the bodies and they would take photos with them. I've got loads and loads of this, so you'll probably be getting like flip screen of photos. So when a person died, they would just, I don't know, do them up, sit them in a chair like they would, and then take photos, like. Oh, it's weird. I suppose they still do it, so, I mean, I live in England, so death in England's a lot different to other countries, such as they celebrate it in other countries, don't they? They used to do that in Victorian times, so a lot of children died during the Victorian times, plus old people. So they would do them or put them sort of next to them and just take photos. Because during the Victorian times, that's when the cameras really started to build and build and build. So a lot of photography in the Victorian times was dead people, which is lovely, isn't it? So anyway, thank you for watching this video. I will be back soon with another video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Whatever time it is, I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks ever so much for watching this video, guys. As always, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.